Welcome to the Foundry by Forge College. Today, we're drawing up the ultimate engineering blueprint to package our massive Solana API infrastructure for production. This explainer covers our Capstone build. If you've survived our course on scaling and best practices, you know we've been building up to this exact moment. So grab your notebooks and let's get building.
Let's take a quick look at our roadmap for today's patent-style handover document. We'll be hitting the final assembly, the production checklist, building the deliverable, testing and validation, and finally, ready for handoff. All right, starting off with Section 1, the final assembly, where we take this from drafts all the way to deployment. We are officially in the synthesis phase. Think of yourself like an engineer assembling a rocket. You aren't building entirely new parts from scratch here. Instead, we're grabbing 4 specific components you've already built in previous modules to construct our final payload. You've got your kickoff SLOs and constraints, your API integration blueprints, prioritized optimizations, and your draft architecture overview. We're going to take these 4 raw ingredients and, well, bake the final cake. Moving right along to Section 2, the production checklist and our acceptance criteria. So what exactly does done look like, especially for an operations team who might get woken up at 3 a.m. to fix a critical issue? This right here is your absolute non-negotiable pre-flight checklist. Every single one of these items has to be verifiable before we launch. We're talking crisp architecture diagrams and component responsibilities, deployment plan manifests, a scaling strategy mapped perfectly to a rollback plan, your OpenAPI specs and versioning policy, operational runbooks, cold hard benchmark evidence, and of course, a peer review sign-off. Listen, if even one of these is missing, your rocket is staying on the launch pad. Now, let's talk about the beating heart of this entire checklist, the SLO. A service-level objective is just a specific, measurable target for system performance. It's kind of like promising your boss you'll be on time 99.9% of the time and actually having the time cards to prove it. The absolutely crucial point here is that every single design decision you've made has to tie directly back to an explicit SLO. Why? Because it lets reviewers objectively judge your engineering trade-offs. You didn't just throw in a Kafka queue for fun, right? You added it to hit a very specific latency SLO. Look, operations teams do not want guesswork. They want a crystal clear, undeniable map that matches a requirement directly to a proof artifact. Think of it like a fire escape plan for your API. For your architecture requirement, your proof is the visual diagrams plus the components markdown file. For scaling, you hand them the SLO to optimization matrix. And for operations, you hand over the incident runbook template. Every single claim has to have a receipt. Okay, Section 3, building the deliverable, focusing on the assembly sequence. It is super easy to get totally overwhelmed with this many files floating around. So let's break down the exact order of operations to piece this massive puzzle together without losing our minds. Just follow this strict chronological guide. First, finalize your SVG diagrams. Second, code your OpenAPI contracts. Third, write those Kubernetes manifests. Fourth, run your benchmarks. And fifth, draft your runbooks. To keep things nice and structured, just toss all of this into a single directory. And hey, never underestimate the power of documentation. The README is your master treasure map for reviewers and the ops team. It shouldn't just be a title at the top of a page. It absolutely must explicitly list your SLOs, the exact reproduction steps for your benchmarks, and the exact path to your rollback playbook. Seriously, if operations can't find it directly from the README, as far as they're concerned, it literally doesn't exist. I really want you to burn this quote into your memory. Completeness matters more than perfection for handoff. Please do not sweat the tiny, tunable details of your autoscaler right now. A clear diagram and a really actionable step-by-step runbook is going to empower an operations team way more than a perfect, but completely undocumented piece of code. Just give them the tools they need to operate the machinery safely. All right, Section 4, testing and validation. This is the final checkpoint. We've built the rocket, we've loaded up the cargo, and now we're checking if this thing actually fires up or if we accidentally left a wrench somewhere in the engine compartment. You've got to execute these automated and manual verification steps in perfect order. Confirm all artifacts are present, run that OpenAPI validation and make sure it passes, execute the smoke tests, verify that your benchmark evidence actually matches your SLOs, and finally, complete a tabletop dry run of your incident runbook with a peer. So let me ask you this. Does your OpenAPI validation have 0 errors? And I don't mean just a few warnings. I mean absolutely 0 errors. Because if your OpenAPI validator tool spits out even one single error, you aren't done. Go fix the YAML and revalidate. It has to be perfectly machine parsable for the integration checklist. Otherwise, clients are going to hit a massive wall of parsing bugs when they try to consume your API.
200. The beautiful HTTP 200 OK status. There is literally no better site for a backend developer. This is exactly what you want to see when you hit your essential endpoints with the staging smoke test. A simple curl command should return a 200 OK and a perfectly valid JSON schema. If it doesn't, well, grab those logs and get to remediating before you even think about passing this off.
Now, here is where accountability is totally forced. Claimed SLOs versus your actual benchmark CSV evidence. You can't just loudly claim your API is lightning fast in some document. If your SLO says your P99 latency is under 500 milliseconds, your attached benchmark report must physically prove it. The numbers have to match the marketing, for sure.
Bringing us to Section 5, ready for handoff, the next frontier. Once you've passed all your validations and that peer review is signed off, your capstone is officially complete. You can finally take a breath. We've successfully transitioned out of that chaotic, highly iterative building phase of the developer sandbox right into a clean, strictly documented production handoff. Operations takes the wheel from here, and your API is officially ready for real-world traffic. So what do you actually do with all this incredible infrastructure knowledge you've built up? Well, next up is Solana DeFi, DEXs, and swap mechanics. You're now fully equipped to apply these exact architecture and documentation skills to highly complex decentralized exchanges and swap routing integrations. To keep building on this foundation, be sure to visit forge.college to dive deeper into this subject and explore our comprehensive Web3 ecosystem courses. I'll leave you with this thought. Now that you can build an API that handles massive scale without breaking a sweat, what kind of decentralized future are you going to build on top of it? Until next time, keep building.